Welcome to Prime Business. I am Emma Davis. Tonight, government has introduced another set of initiatives under the Planting for Food and Jobs program aimed at helping farmers to expand their farm sizes. The initiative, which involves a credit system for farmers, is an improved method expected to deal with challenges in accessing funds by farmers. Speaking to journalists, Minister for Food and Agriculture Brian Echampon explained that this system will boost food production and reduce the import of staple foods.
The new upgrade of the Planting for Food and Jobs program involves the establishment of some credit centers to help farmers at the local level in order to reduce the stress of funding. The module, which is a web-based application system, will sanitize the distribution of farm inputs and seedlings. According to Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Brian Echampon, the system will help the country improve on food security.
Of course, once we are able to now control the food in aggregates at the warehouses, you will find that bankers are now willing to give working capital to farmers, because that entire ecosystem of agriculture, from inputs to farming to aggregator to production to aggregator, to warehouse, to banking, to input dealers, are all controlled and all organized on a single digital platform. And so that is what this module seeks to do. And with this module too, Ghanaians will now be able to have proper food stock as buffer. What we intend to do is that every percentage of the grains or cereals or legumes that is harvested, we are going to take a percentage and keep for the nation's strategic stock.
The minister also assured that efforts are being put in place to control the increase in prices of food at the market.
What we are doing in order to balance the prices of food across the country and bring the price of food down and stable to control food inflation, we are building up strategic, proper, fit-for-purpose warehouses at strategic locations. So what we're saying is that if you're a market queen here in Accra, you don't have to go to Sisala and go and buy the maize and transport it in Accra, thereby adding the transport charges to the produce and therefore the price of maize going down. We're going to set up a 10,000 metric ton grain silo right in the outskirts of Accra. They go there, they pick the maize, they add their margin, they bring it to the market.
The registration of farmers for the new system is expected to begin on Tuesday across the country.
Meanwhile, the General Agricultural Workers Union has challenged claims the new set of initiatives under the Planting for Food and Jobs program will help address high food price issues. According to the union, there are still some lingering challenges that need to be addressed in order to feel the impact of these new initiatives. Here is General Secretary of GAO, Edward Kare.
It will not address high food prices. It will not, because there are other factors that work into the pricing of food stuff. And one of them is just the transportation that I have already indicated. You know, you can't take it away. When fuel prices go up, how to maintain the price? If transport price goes up, how is he going to factor that into it? You know, and the bad road network. You know, so certainly we should not think too much about it. That when we implement it, it is going to I think what we need to do is to create markets close to the families, and the whole system where we're looking for this free feeding of FHS students and so on. If we were to actually take strictly to outsourcing or sourcing of staff from the communities, it will have helped to reduce the high cost of food in the market system, because agricultural produce are bulky and perishable. So if you don't have a good transportation system, you incur a lot of post-harvest losses, transporting it from wherever it is produced from the farm gate to the market center. So it's not going to stabilize price or reduce price.
Equal salaries should be encouraged. That's the call from Country Director of Enablers Ghana, Shika Akolache. As March is set aside to celebrate women, Madam Akolache made an appeal to organizations to have fair remuneration structures to empower women across all fields. She spoke on the Made in Canada Ghana Chamber of Commerce Joy Business Dialogue themed creating an enabling environment for women in organizations and institutions to inspire growth.
Some policies, certain policies like equal pay for the same job for both men and women should be encouraged.
Right.
There are quite a number of organizations that pay men more than women for the same job done.
Right.
I think it's about time we look at these policies and address these issues. And in doing policies that are intentionally designed to support women, I think the committee that would write these policies should include a woman or women. Because whether we like it or not, men are made differently, they think differently, they are not wrong, they're just different. Women also are not wrong, but we are also very different, but diversity does it better.
Right.
So I think that organizations should begin to set up committees, small committees that will re-look at jobs, evaluation, and also pay structures and implement them to help us all grow and impact on the bottom line, which is the profitability of companies and therefore our economy.
Oil marketing company Petrosol Ghana has empowered its female staff to mark the International Women's Day with the Women in Leadership Conference. According to the Chief Executive Officer of Petrosol Ghana, Michael Bozumbil, the conference was to build the leadership capacity of its female staff to prepare them for future leadership roles. More in this report.
The 2024 edition of the Women in Leadership Conference by the Petrosol Women Network was on the theme Investing in Women, Energizing for the Future. In an interview with Joy Business, the CEO of Petrosol Ghana, Michael Bozumbil, says the company is dedicated to empowering its female staff for future leadership roles.
Right from the beginning, when we began operating as a company, it's been a conscious effort to encourage the growth of female leaders in the company. And we have invested in building their capacity because we know the challenges that the female staff face, especially in a very difficult and male-dominated sector like the energy sector. And we are glad that as a company with over 500 employees, about 46% of that number, constitutes the female staff working across the country. But what is remarkable, for us is that this year marks our 10th anniversary. And so we thought that it was important that we celebrate our female staff for the great work they've done over the years, working tirelessly, combining, their roles at home with the demands of the corporate world and excelling. For me, that is a story worth celebrating.
Deputy Chief Executive of the National Petroleum Authority, Linda Asante, urged women to develop their networking skills.
I mean, the perception out there is that women, we are our own enemies, and I disagree with that perception, because I, for one, have about 50 girls I'm mentoring, and I'm sure other women that I know who attended the conference are doing something similar. I'm only urging our ladies and the girls out there should reach out to people that they think have made it to the glass ceiling, people who have impacted their community and their workplace, who are leading. Reach out to them and find out how they made it. It's all about researching and knowing who to contact and what network you should join. I mean, there are a lot of peer reviews that you can join. So I just want to urge our young ladies upcoming and even the grown-ups who don't know how to network to start doing that, because it's very important. I'm here because of the network that I built when I was in the university.
Some key female workers were recognized and awarded for their dedication and loyalty to the Petrosol Ghana brand.
We've all heard at one time or another Bank of Ghana's policy rate. But what is policy rate and how does this affect you or your business? Dr. Maxwell Ampong enlightens us on policy rate this week. But
too much economic partying will lead to problems. Hello. Today we uncover the policy rate and how it affects you. Imagine you have a wache stand. To sell your wache, you need to buy rice and beans, some gari, some talia, some wache leaves, and maybe a few other stuff. But what if you don't have enough money saved? You might want to borrow some from a friend, promising to give a little extra back for their help. The policy rate set by the central bank is the benchmark interest rate from which all other interest rates within the economy is derived. So that extra interest that the big banks within our country ask for when others borrow money goes higher when the policy rate goes higher and goes lower when the policy rate goes lower. When this extra is a lot of money, people and businesses think twice before borrowing because it means you have to pay back more money. Why does this matter to you and me? Let's say that the extra that you pay is really high. Entrepreneurs might have difficulty borrowing money for new and existing ventures because it becomes too expensive to pay back the money that you have borrowed. Businesses might not also borrow to grow bigger or to manufacture or to create other revenue generating avenues because it's too much money. It's too much money to pay back as interest. This can slow things down within the country. But if the extra that you pay is also too low, then it's like a party. More people borrow and spend within the economy. Businesses grow. However, too much economic partying will lead to problems. So the policy rate is like a dial on our country's economic radio. Our central bank's job is to find that right volume because a higher policy rate tightens monetary conditions, making loans more expensive, and as a result, slowing down spending and investment to control inflation. On the other hand, a lower policy rate loosens conditions, encouraging borrowing and investment, aiming to stimulate economic growth. So again, why should we care? Because whether you are saving money to start a new business, or you are running an existing business, or you are just living your life, this rate affects how much things cost. It affects how easy it is to spend money or save money and how our economy welcomes our entrepreneurship endeavors. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me. Keep well.
Brought to you by Africa School of Entrepreneurship.
Catch a repeat same time Thursday. That's it for tonight. I am Emma Davis. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Have a good evening.